I'll never forget the morning it all came to an end. Not with shouting, not with slammed doors, but with silence, the kind that settles like dust after an earthquake. She sat across from me at the kitchen table, same mugs we'd used for 27 years, steam long gone, and she said softly, "I don't want to be angry anymore. I just don't want to be here." 27 years, 2 kids, 1 mortgage, 3 decades of inside jokes, hospital vigils, holiday compromises. If you're watching this at 50, 55, even 60, and you've whispered those same words, "I just don't want to be here," not out of rage, but out of exhaustion, welcome on board. You're part of what demographers now call the gray divorce wave, where divorce rates double between ages 45 and 65, even as they fall for younger generations. And here's what no one prepares you for. Divorcing in midlife isn't just ending a marriage. It's dismantling an identity you've worn so long, you forgot it was clothing, not skin. Stoics like Epictetus would have warned, it's not the divorce that wounds you, it's the story you tell yourself about what it means. And shadow work would ask the hardest question. Who were you before you became spouse? And who are you now, when that role is gone? This isn't the divorce of your 20s, where you pack a duffel bag and hit restart. At 50, you're not just splitting assets, you're splitting histories, especially when you thought you'd figured life out. But here you are, facing late-life divorce challenges while everyone else posts anniversary photos, wondering how you'll survive financially, emotionally, and socially. Here's what they don't tell you. Gray divorce isn't just about ending a marriage. It's about discovering who you are when everything you built gets divided down the middle. Today, we're exploring 8 principles rooted in Stoic wisdom, psychology, and neuroscience to help you not just survive this, but rebuild something real. Let's begin with the hardest truth part. Grieve the marriage and the identity it gave you. The founder of shadow work, Carl Jung, said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." Put simply, this means that waking up to your new reality hurts, and you have to let it. You're not just losing a spouse, you're losing we. The couple of friends, the holiday traditions, and the sweet story you told yourself about your life. That's an identity crisis after divorce. And it's normal. Here's what happens in your brain. Your sense of self was wired around being married. Now those neural pathways are broken, and your brain is scrambling to make sense of who you are. Allow yourself to mourn. Cry in the car, rage in the shower, write angry letters you'll never send. But here's the point. Learn to set a boundary with your grief. 30 minutes a day, max. Feel everything. Then choose to show up for your life. Because grief that consumes you becomes depression, while grief that you honor becomes wisdom. 2. Face the financial reality without panic. Financial planning for gray divorce starts with accepting what is, not what you wish it were. Yes, dividing retirement assets in divorce is brutal, just like selling the family home after divorce hurts. Watching your nest egg split in half feels like betrayal. But panic won't help you, only a strategy will. Here's your survival plan. Meet with a financial planner who specializes in gray divorce. Not your cousin who's good with money. I mean a professional. Understand pension division, Social Security benefits for divorced spouses, and alimony laws in your state. Create a bare-bones budget for the first year. This isn't forever. It's triage. Neuroscience shows that financial stress floods your system with cortisol, making it impossible to think clearly. Get expert help so you're not making decisions in survival mode. You won't have everything you had before, but you will have enough if you plan smart. 3. Stop performing for people who aren't in your corner. People will have opinions about your divorce. Your kids, friends, the church, and your nosy neighbor aren't left out. Let them. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't need to defend your choices. You don't have to smile through the holidays pretending everything's fine. Here's the brutal truth about divorce after long-term marriage. Some friendships won't survive it. A couple of friends will pick sides. And family gatherings will feel very awkward. That's not your fault. That's other people's discomfort. Focus on the people who show up for you, who text to check in, who sit with you in the mess without trying to fix it. For everyone else, see them as background noise. Your energy is too precious to waste on people who judge you instead of supporting you. If you've made it this far, you're already stronger than most. But the next principle is the one that separates those who survive gray divorce from those who actually thrive after it. The 4. Rewrite your story because you're not a victim. Here's the reality about life. You can't change the fact that your marriage ended, but you can change the meaning you give it. Right now, you might be telling yourself, I wasted 25 years, or I'm too old to start over, or nobody will want me now. Those stories are lies your scared brain is telling you to keep you safe. Here's what neuroscience knows. Your brain believes the stories you repeat. If you keep saying you're a victim, your brain will find evidence to support it. Anytime any negative thought about what happened resurfaces, because they certainly will, whisper to it, I survived something hard and I'm still here. Or, I have decades of life experience that make me stronger, not broken. This isn't toxic positivity, it's narrative psychology because most often the story you tell yourself becomes your reality. Choose a story that gives you power, not pity. 5. Rediscover who you were before the we. Pema Chodron, a famous Buddhist teacher, says, you are the sky, everything else is just the weather. Put simply, this means you existed before this marriage, and you exist after it. Somewhere in those decades together, you stopped being yourself and became half of a couple. You gave up hobbies, friends, dreams, little pieces of who you were. Now's your chance to reclaim them. Think back. What did you love before you got married? What did you give up to keep the peace? What have you secretly wanted to try but never had permission? Start small. Take that pottery class. Call the friend you lost touch with. Travel somewhere your ex never wanted to go. And don't ever see this as selfish. It's survival. Your identity can't be defined by someone else anymore. Rebuilding life after divorce at 60 means remembering or discovering who you are. And here's the surprising part. Most people find they like themselves better after divorce than they did in the marriage. Yeah, that's a shocking reality. 6. Build a new community because loneliness is deadly. Famous research from psychologist John Cacioppo shows that chronic loneliness is as dangerous to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Overcoming loneliness after a gray divorce isn't optional. It's part of effective survival. Your old social circle might be gone, but that just means there's room for new people. People who know you as you, not as someone's spouse. Here's how to start this renewed journey. Join gray divorce support groups online or in person. You need people who get it. Volunteer, because serving others pulls you out of your own pain. Say yes to invitations, even when you don't feel like it. At this stage, I know you're tired. I know small talk feels impossible, but isolation will kill your spirit faster than divorce ever could. Connection isn't a luxury right now, but medicine for your soul. You don't need a huge network to heal. You just need 2 or 3 people who see you and show up. 6. Build a new community because loneliness is deadly. Famous research from psychologist John Cacioppo shows that chronic loneliness is as dangerous to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Overcoming loneliness after a gray divorce isn't optional. It's part of effective survival. Your old social circle might be gone, but that just means there's room for new people. People who know you as you, not as someone's spouse. Here's how to start this renewed journey. Join gray divorce support groups, online or in person. You need people who get it. Volunteer because serving others pulls you out of your own pain. Say yes to invitations, even when you don't feel like it. At this stage, I know you're tired. I know small talk feels impossible, but isolation will kill your spirit faster than divorce ever could. Connection isn't a luxury right now, but medicine for your soul. You don't need a huge network to heal. You just need 2 or 3 people who see you and show up. 7. Date yourself before you date anyone else. This sounds absurd or even funny, doesn't it? But Irvin Yalom teaches that we must learn to be alone before we can truly be with someone else. Dating after a gray divorce terrifies most people. And honestly, You're not ready yet. I understand this is not because you're broken, but because you need to fall in love with yourself first. Spend 6 months, minimum, learning to enjoy your own company. Take yourself to dinner, go to movies alone, or travel solo. If the idea of being alone scares you, that's exactly why you need to do it. Because if you jump into another relationship before you know who you are, you'll just repeat the same patterns that led to this divorce. And here's the truth about remarriage after gray divorce. The people who do it successfully spent time healing first. I would admonish you to take the time to do the work. The right person will still be there when you're ready. 8. This ending is also a beginning. According to Eckhart Tolle, life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. This divorce is teaching you a life lesson about resilience, self-reliance, and about what you actually need versus what you settled for. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's unfair. Yes, you wish it had turned out differently. But fighting reality only creates suffering. Accepting reality, even when it's brutal, creates space for something new. Document this journey. Write about what you're learning and notice the small moments of joy that surprise you. You're not starting over from zero. You're starting over with wisdom, a backlog of experience, and clarity about who you are and what you deserve. That is nothing. That's everything. Conclusion. Well, my fellow midlifers, here's what I want you to hear. Surviving divorce in your 50s is one of the hardest things you'll ever face. But you're not alone, and this ending doesn't define you. These 8 principles won't make gray divorce easy, but they'll help you navigate the grief, rebuild your finances, and rediscover yourself on the other side. In the comments below, tell me which principle really made sense to you. Are you facing a gray divorce right now? Let's learn from each other and support one another through this. If this video helped, subscribe for more wisdom on navigating midlife struggles. Hit the like button to tell YouTube that you found value in this content, and turn on notifications. We're building a community of people who refuse to let life's hardest seasons break them. Thank you dearly for watching, and see you in our next video.